Hello.
Hi there, I hope you're doing well. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on some local issues that matter to me.
Great. Well, tell me about them.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm really focused on understanding where our local member stands on issues like education and climate change. As a teacher, I've noticed some gaps in resources at our schools. What are your plans to address these and support both students and teachers in our community?
Yeah, well, terrific to hear that you're a teacher in one of our local schools. And we've got quite a few new schools being built around our area, including a new high school in Gugong. We've got an expansion to the primary school in Gugong and also a new extended school in Jerrabombra, as well as a new school in Bungendore. So there's a lot happening on the capital side of things with our schools. And then, really importantly, and you as a teacher would know this, we need to make sure that our teachers are paid enough to actually keep them in the job. And that's something which we've been doing as well. We removed the 2.5% wages cap, and we've given a big pay increase to public school teachers because that helps us to retain them.
It's great to hear about the new schools being built. More schools can definitely help with overcrowding and provide more opportunities for local kids. I completely agree on the importance of teacher pay. With rising living costs, it's crucial that teachers feel valued and motivated to stay in the profession. Can you share more about any specific plans to address teachers' salaries or support that the government is proposing?
Yes, our pay increase for teachers made New South Wales teachers the highest paid in Australia, which was important. It's important in our area because, as you know, we've got competition from the ACT, and a lot of our teachers previously were moving across to the ACT to teach. So we're hoping that we can keep a lot more teachers, reduce the vacancies, and that then means that we'll keep kids in classes with teachers rather than having them in the playground or in combined classes when we have vacancies.
That's really promising to hear. Retaining teachers in our area is crucial, especially with the competition from ACED. It must be challenging for schools to manage with vacancies impacting class sizes. Has there been any discussion about providing further support, such as professional development or mental health initiatives, to ensure teachers can thrive and continue offering quality education?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And one of the things which we talk to the Teachers Federation about is about the time that they have for their own professional development and class off classes. And that's something where, as part of the agreement with the Teachers Federation, we did give additional development days. So that is to try and make sure that we're doing some of that professional development. And obviously, we're also very well aware of the pressures on teachers. It is, in today's society, quite a difficult job, and a lot of kids have additional needs which teachers have to deal with. So we're certainly keen to try and do more in that area.
That's good to hear. Collaborative efforts like that can truly lead to meaningful change. As a teacher, knowing that both the government and educational bodies are actively working together gives me hope for a supportive teaching environment. I'm also really interested in what plans there might be to address climate change, especially considering the potential impacts here in our region. Could you share some insights on that?
Yeah, and the Monaro is certainly an area. We've got the ski industry, obviously, so we've seen shorter ski seasons because of climate change and global warming. And the New South Wales government has legislated targets for climate change and legislated targets to get us to renewables as quickly as we possibly can in our state. So it has been very positive work that we've seen happen since this government came in, and our region is really a strong part of that.
It's reassuring to know there are legislative targets in place for climate change, especially since our local ski industry is noticeably affected. Moving towards renewables makes sense for both the environment and the local economy. Are there any initiatives specifically in our area, like solar or wind projects, that aim to make the Queanbeyan region more sustainable while also providing job opportunities?
There is some projects around our region, and I guess one of the things which is important to remember is that there is incentives for households to get batteries, which is being taken up by many people in our area, and that's part of making sure that people can lower their own energy costs and also contribute to the energy transition. In our region, we're seeing a number of solar and wind projects which are being considered. Some of them are appropriate, some of them will have difficulties, but there is, I am aware, a new solar farm being planned near Bunendore. That's one which has really strong community support, and there's already some wind farms in that area. So we are seeing our region as a part of that.
It's fantastic to hear about community funds and local involvement. Having projects that directly benefit our area through jobs and initiatives like community batteries can foster strong local support and engagement. Beyond climate initiatives, I've been concerned about housing availability in our region. Are there any plans to address housing affordability and access for families like mine in Gwen Bay and nearby areas?
Yes, and that's a really important issue because housing is a big problem for our region. We've seen housing prices go up a lot over the last few years, and we've seen the supply constrained. So looking at an area like Gugong, where we have a lot of development going on, that's really important for improving the housing supply. And the Labor government, the Minns government, is investing in public housing as well. So social housing is something which has been lacking over the last decade or so. I want to see new public housing developed in Queanbeyan that helps people who are facing homelessness. We're also looking at key worker accommodation in the area.
It's encouraging to hear that there's a focus on increasing housing supply and investing in social housing. With rising house prices, this is so important for families who want to settle here. Are there specific strategies or partnerships with developers to ensure these new developments remain affordable and that there's a mix of options for different income levels?
Interestingly, there's a new development in Cooma, 120 blocks of land, which we're doing with a developer, which will include affordable housing blocks. Have you got any questions about health in our region?
Yes. I do have a few questions about health in our region. I've noticed that access to specialist healthcare services in the Queanbeyan area can be limited. What plans are in place to improve healthcare access and reduce wait times for locals? I'm particularly concerned about the impact on families with young children like mine.
Well, our Queanbeyan Hospital is a really great facility. It's actually something that I got built when I was first a local member, and I'm very proud of it. We do need to make sure that we're staffing it. It is currently quite full, quite busy, and our emergency department is good, but also busy. So we've got a bit of work to do to try and make sure that we're retaining our nursing staff and our medical staff in the hospital. We're working very hard on that with better pay, and a lot of the specialist care, as you know, is delivered in Canberra or Sydney. So we need to be working with those parts of the health system as well.
I appreciate the efforts to improve Queanbeyan Hospital, but I worry about families having to travel to Canberra for specialised care, which can be time-consuming and stressful, especially with young kids. Are there any plans to attract more specialists to Queanbeyan, or at least improve transport options for families who need to travel for medical appointments?
It's a good question. I mean, Canberra is our tertiary hospital. That's the major hospital that we refer people to in exactly the same way as regional hospitals refer to a bigger hospital. So we won't have that full range of specialist services in Queanbeyan, but we certainly do try to expand the number of operations that can be delivered in Queanbeyan. And I know that there's things like urology and a number of other things which you can get at Queanbeyan Hospital. But we will try to work on the appropriate services for the size. Well, thank you for coming to see me to talk to me about all those things, and please come and see my electorate office if you've got any more questions.
Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate the open door.